This is the Hot Take Hockey Podcast with your hosts, Lucas and John Viveiros.
I had some predictions ripping. I actually said Tyler Bertuzzi is a hot take to Dallas, but I think there's going to be a lot of teams that look at him. Maybe Boston brings it back. Just to shout some hot takes here, I have O'Reilly, not a hot take, going to St. Louis, Patrick Kane, Buffalo. Early ones here. Freddie Anderson to Ottawa, Carolina. I have a couple options, Ottawa, Carolina. Tristan Jarry, Ottawa, Carolina. Carson Soucy, I think Detroit could look at him. Connor Brown, I actually have former teammate with McDavid going to Edmonton. I think that's a shout. Because you just said, if they go for a connecting man, Connor Brown could be a cheap option. I have the contract projection as a 1-year deal, $2 million for Connor Brown. Just looking at this quickly, Lucas, anything catch your eye? And do you have any hot take predictions on this top 25?
I love it, John. I love a lot of these. Jumping out at me, I think if St. Louis brings in a guy like Scott Mayfield, that'll bolster up their D. I like that a lot. I think Parayko's probably moving out if they do something like that.
I think Mayfield's from St. Louis. I think I saw. He's from Missouri, I believe.
Yeah, Freddie Anderson to Ottawa definitely intrigues me because that could be that steady goaltender that gets them through the season. You know, Freddie Anderson, we were just talking about guys that flourish in the season and maybe aren't the guys for the playoffs. I mean, Freddie Anderson's always been solid in the regular season, so he could be that guy that pushes them into the playoffs. I like that one a lot.
The hot take I had too is I think Vegas will try to bring back Adin Hill. But if he gets outpriced, my hot take was if Vancouver goes ahead and trades Demko, Adin Hill's a BC boy. So maybe Vancouver, if they trade Demko, that's the stipulation on that. But
I'll say that Connor Brown, I like the case you made for Colorado to add a forward because obviously last season, just watching them, they were nowhere near what they were the previous year. Obviously, they were down Landeskog, down Kadri. I like Connor Brown maybe as a fit in Colorado as well. I think they're going to add multiple forwards, quite frankly. You named Drouin and Pacioretty as a couple cheap options. Connor Brown could be one of those guys. But I agree with you on the Adin Hill front. I think Vegas is going to be extremely aggressive this week and into next week in trying to sign him before he becomes a UFA. We'll see if they can make it happen. I know Darcy Kemper walked from Colorado last year after he was given a big deal in Washington. So that could be on the horizon for Adin Hill, even though he really played like 25 games this year. In the regular season, and good on him. He played really well in the playoffs and is going to earn this contract. But buyer beware a little bit, man, because that contract might not age the greatest if he gets a long-term deal.
Yeah, 100%. Just to look at the second half of the list here, and I mean, man, for me, my thing is with some of these free agents, and I have Varlamov. Let me just bring it up quickly here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those guys that could just command that 1-year deal, prove it, and get a lot more. And that's kind of what happened to Klingberg, and it didn't really work out for him perfectly. But just to quickly look at this in the last minute of play here. Again, I have David Kampf. I think if he doesn't return to Toronto, classic Dubas. I think he'd go to Pittsburgh. Luke Shen to Toronto. I have Gosh Spare to Seattle or Florida. Varlamov, I actually have to Pittsburgh or Rangers as a backup to Sturkin. There's a bunch of just randoms I kind of put here.
I can't. So you have a top 50 list, and then you got Justin Hall just squeaking into the bottom.
Justin Hall to the Devils or Wild, maybe Pittsburgh.
You didn't even give this guy a number, bro.
My hot take man is if the Leafs can't bring back David Kampf, I think Teddy Bluger is like a Kampf light. I'd actually be interested in Teddy Bluger.
Yeah, also, Corey Perry. I know the Leafs are hungry on Corey Perry. I don't know if it's going to happen. I feel like they've constantly swarmed him and they haven't got him. So we'll see, maybe.
And I've talked if the Seattle Kraken don't bring back Soucy, they've been long rumored to Klingberg. I think that could be a fit.
Yep.
Last couple seconds. Anything else that shuts you out?
JVR to Detroit. It's finally going to happen. It's not going to get nixed at the deadline. I think it's going to happen. JVR to Detroit.
All right, guys. Hot Take Hockey Podcast. We'll see you on the next episode. Give us your free agency predictions in the comments, and we'll see you for episode 41. Have a good one. Peace.